Hi, Max here. Um, just wanted to take a moment to. That was my dog who just sniffed. I don't know if that got caught on the audio. Wanted to talk about some stuff I really love. Um, and right now something I love very, very much is my comfort character, G-Man. I made a doll of him from the Half-Life games. That's one thing I really love because I love villains, and he's my favorite villain. Like, definitely at this time, when I played Portal, GLaDOS was my favorite villain for a while. Um, when I had been doing retail, especially, I feel like she helped me survive retail, frankly. And then when I was kind of getting over, honestly, kind of like CPTSD symptoms after my life kind of fell apart for a while. I felt like G-Man helped me tremendously and is frankly still helping me. So he's my current comfort character. I feel like different characters represent different things to me, and G-Man represents finding a balance between states of existence, I feel like, in a way, and also I feel like it's fitting that that should be my current comfort character, considering that I'm a non-binary man, and I think I can kind of relate to being in between states of existence in a way, I suppose, symbolically, among other factors. But I really love the Half-Life games, and this year I got back into them, and I also got into the YouTube Half-Life VR AI Twitch fandom, and just like watching a lot of that stuff too has kind of like helped me re-enjoy the games in a new way, and I just really love characters, but especially villains, and I feel like the classic battle between good and evil and just all of that is really fascinating to me. And villains like G-Man, I think, are particularly interesting because, like, honestly, he doesn't really do all that much. Like, technically, he's just doing his job. Like, he's been hired by these cryptic employers to serve some ends that probably, like, I feel like personally he doesn't support the Combine. He's like a third party, I think. I think he could be an observer possibly as well. These are just headcanons or like theories that I personally I have a lot of different like theories and things. It's not canon. We don't know what his goals are necessarily. But we know he's like a villain sort of, and he blows up Half-Life in Half-Life. Oh gosh, which one is it? Like Black Ops? No, I'm like, oh gosh, the freaking Adrian one. He blows up the Black Mesa at the freaking science facility, and so, but like technically that's his job, and like he does kidnap people, but that's also his job. Like for an alien business guy, pretty much all the actually evil things he does, he's like paid to do. Like that's his work, that's his business. He doesn't really have a choice, I don't think. So I think it's interesting because, like, yeah, some of the stuff he does is evil, but mostly he just kind of stands there all like mysterious and cryptic and gives like dialogue or like just kind of stares at the player menacingly, the player character in whichever game, and just kind of like stalks whoever in whichever game. And it's like, yeah, he's evil, but also like most of the time we see him, he's not really doing anything. He's just kind of being creepy, and I really love him because he's one of those villains who like he's not all that villainous. Like he's done a few definitely bad things in his line of work, but for the most part, he's just kind of there, and I really like that. And I draw him a lot. He's one of my favorite villains of all time, especially these last couple years. 2021 and 2022, I've been especially just really fond of this villain. I feel like all my favorite villains are sort of like guides for me, and they help me through whatever part of life I'm at, and they help motivate me to keep going and find hope and strength, and I just really love villains a lot. I want to be a villain. I think that's probably like my dream job, is to just like be a paid cartoon or like some kind of villain. I don't know. I could do it. I could do it. Like, not actual villainy, but I mean the acting part. I mean, I feel like with a lot of neurodiverse or differently abled individuals, when you grow up acting for, I mean, decades, acting as a character is easy because you kind of have been. Anyways, I'm sure some of you know what I mean. Some of you probably have like, what are you talking about? That makes no sense. But from an artistic perspective too, I think, everybody plays certain roles, and sometimes you realize that the roles you're playing aren't the ones that you're meant for. That was certainly my case, and G-Man kind of just helped me through that period, and Half-Life generally, just like playing the games and seeing a lot of like the parallels of like, I feel like especially with like Gordon Freeman, it's very clearly like war and destruction and chaos and all this crap he's got to deal with, and I kind of felt like around when I started getting really into Half-Life, that's how I felt internally. Was like just all this chaos. I felt like I had no control over anything, and now, like a year and a half, or I don't know, time is a frickin' illusion, dingus, but much later now, I feel like actually I have a lot of control, a lot more than like ever before, and things are still complicated, but comparatively, I think my own life is like so much better than even when I started playing Half-Life games. I feel like all the games I play, they do tremendously impact me and help me through my life, and it's not just because I'm autistic, but it's just like, I feel like the media we consume can connect with our hearts, and for me, because I'm mostly around, I would say, like media and like fictional characters, more so than I'm around real people. Like, I don't really get to see real people very often, um, unless it's like strangers, and then I'm like kind of scared. But I'm working on that. I'm working on of not being borderline afraid of random people, because you gotta go out and get groceries sometimes. Anyways, but like I'm around a lot of fictional characters in like fiction more than I'm around real people, because I practically live in my room. And I feel like they've had a truly tremendous impact on my life, and G-Man's certainly one of those characters. Like, he's creepy as heck and he's horrible, but I love him so, so much. And I don't know, I just wanted to share that because I'm trying to take some time, some space to just express things I really love or express some thoughts. And a lot of times I just do it alone or like praying or talking to myself, but figured I'd make a video this time because, why not? And anyways, have a good one. Goodbye.